and that strong bipartisan vote says the Senate will now move forward, adopt the motion to proceed tomorrow, absent an agreement to do it sooner, and keep the government open. Unfortunately, that is not happening in the House. Republicans appear to be taking the opposite path, a path headed to shutdown. The truth is, every approach House Republicans...
There is big news, and Congress, everybody, is expected to make some big adjustments just to SNAP program to help Americans across the country out. We know that President Biden is not doing enough for the American people, and we declare that people should be getting the stimulus checks in 2023 just to help with the rise of inflation, just to help with the cost of living, everybody. Now, in the coming months, Congress is expected to reauthorize the SNAP benefits, the country's largest food assistance program that helps poor families and afford groceries. Now, amidst this ongoing debt crisis, Republicans have focused on SNAP work provisions, proposing expansions to work requirements and identifying employment as a program goal. These efforts are key to providing better assistance to beneficiaries. Enhanced benefits under the SNAP ended March 1st, and a significant share of households are reporting food insufficiency. The latest data released last week marks the first full period of data collection since the end of the SNAP benefits. It revealed that households in states that were distributing the extra benefits generally experienced lower levels of food insufficiency compared to those in states distributing standard debt amounts. Now, households in states that opted out of emergency allotments reported that they often do not have enough money and food to eat at the higher rates than those in states that continue to distribute the additional SNAP benefits. 1 in 4 households in the 32 states impacted by the policy change are reporting that either sometimes often do not have enough to eat. For some households that received benefits up until the program's termination, the policy change has major implications. For instance, a family of 4 with a net monthly income of $2,000 received $940 more in SNAP benefits this year compared to the previous crisis. And with the end of the emergency allotments, that family is now receiving $600 less a month. In total, roughly 32 million people are receiving smaller monthly SNAP payments, which is so much bad for American people. Other changes to SNAP include eligibility requirements. Republicans have passed a bill that would raise the age limit from 50 to 56 years old for the work requirements, and also that affect qualification for SNAP benefits too. But there is little chance that the bill will pass in its current format, with the Democratic-controlled Senate and President Biden already signaling that he would veto any spending cuts to the debt ceiling increase. In an effort to reach some kind of compromise, though, rules around the SNAP program could be adjusted in future years. This past Friday's better than expected jobs report defied interest rate hikes again that are aimed to slash inflation by cooling the economy. Instead, the U.S. added around 250,000 jobs in April, making a slight decline from an average of 290,000 over the previous months. And now government data showed that the job gains did not occur evenly across sectors. Some industries posted blockbuster expansions, while others lagged far behind. The sector that featured the most job gain covers a wide-reaching set of positions, referred to as businesses and professional services, which includes attorneys, accountants, managers, and computer engineers. The sector added 43,000 jobs last month, nearly doubling an average of 25,000 jobs gained over the previous 6. The major expansion arrives despite high-profile layoffs in the media and tech industries. Healthcare, an industry that is showing job growth in recent months, continued at a blistering pace in April, and according to experts, the performance in this industry owes a large part to the aging population. Roughly 17% of Americans are 65 years or older. That share of population, which counts for 55 million people, has grown nearly 40% since 2010, everybody. Jerome Powell just made a huge announcement on
the phone, and as I watched him dial the phone, my phone rang. He was calling me to tell me what had just happened, and that's what he should do. And then a year later, I was with him on 9/11. Not with him, I was near him on 9/11, when he got a phone call. His oldest son was just 6.
So yes, folks, I believe it's time for President Biden to do more for the American people, send out stimulus payments for the people, and let's see what he can do for the American people in stimulus. We have a ton of news about the fourth stimulus check, Social Security benefits, SSI, and SDI. Continue watching this video because you guys don't want to miss out on this. We got a ton of news on what to do for this. Serious debates over Social Security are happening, and the lawmakers are unexpectedly proposing new Social Security reform plans. Many are urging that Joe Biden prevent the lawmakers from making any huge changes to programs like Social Security. Even the former vice president said today that the cuts to Social Security and Medicare should be on the table for the long term, making him different from the former president as he considers a run for the Oval Office. But during an interview with CNBC, we are looking at that crisis in this country. Over the next 25 years, that is driven by entitlements, and nobody in Washington, D.C. wants to talk about it. The former president has positioned himself as a defender of Medicare and Social Security, and he's doing so again as he seeks a return to the presidency. So while folks, his annual budgets include proposals to reducing Medicare spending, they primarily targeted provider payments rather than benefits, and his efforts to limit Social Security spending were aimed at cutting directly benefits, not checks for retirees. So now it is encouraged, AARP has encouraged its members aged 55 and older to send a message to Joe Biden. The message is to urge Congress to keep their hands off Social Security and Medicare. According to the bill, the senior vice president of government affairs at AARP has a response that has been overwhelming, with about 82,000 people sending letters in the past week. It's good to see that people are trying to work together to get the American people to send out stimulus checks and to get the people the money they deserve. Because, folks, it is definitely possible for Joe Biden to do this. There's no excuse for him. Now, the future of Medicare and Social Security have increasingly come up in debate around that ceiling. It's up to Congress to agree to raise or eliminate that ceiling to prevent an unprecedented default on the country's debt. As part of the negotiations, though, lawmakers may look to cut the costs. Nancy Pelosi, Kevin McCarthy have vowed to keep the changes to Social Security and Medicare off the table. But the House Republicans have called for cuts to the program, like raising the retirement age or changing away the annual Social Security COLA for everyday necessities. He also said that for gas and groceries, things need to be cheaper. So, President Biden also is trying to pursue higher taxes on oil companies and their profits, as if the industry giants do not work to cut gas prices. Joe Biden has criticized oil companies that have made record high profits. It comes as consumers struggle to keep up with high gas prices. According to AAA, today the price of a gallon of gas was $3.76, down from a record of over $5 in June, but still higher than a year ago. And when asked about the gas companies, Biden said it's time for these companies to stop their profiteering. If they don't, they're going to pay a higher tax on their excess profits. And right before Election Day, everybody, the White House messaged that it's focused on how Democrats are going to improve the economy and Republicans will make it worse. Inflation and the economy consistently rank at a top issue for voters, and higher gas prices stretched consumer budgets for much of the year. Any new taxes on oil profits would need congressional approval, which may prove difficult as Democrats control both chambers of Congress by slim margins. Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren also previously floated the idea the Republicans, who generally support lower taxes, hope to win back one or both chambers in Congress as of the November 8th midterms. Shell also made $9.5 billion in profits in the third quarter, almost double what it made the same period last year. Exxon profits in the third quarter made $18 billion, and that nearly tripled what